Joan, hello. I'm here, my love. I know that you sent me a record earlier today, and I saw that you had sent it, but I never had the opportunity to have a look at it until I got back, because you see, Joan, I was into the center today, Grand Falls, Windsor. You'll remember Grand Falls, for sure. You must remember. We were in there more than once. We had appointments and things. And it's the same way today. We're still going there for appointments. So I was into Grand Falls today. And I tell you, Joan, I didn't get back until after 9. It was after dark, and my nerves were near shot. Driving out over the highway in the dark. And you know what the moose is like here. I mean, it's not free driving here. You can't just sit on your cruise and that's it and, stay in the lines. You got to constantly be watching for the moose. And my eyes are so bad. And Frank said to me, he said, Edith, he said, make sure that you're watching your side, I'm watching my side, and whatnot. And I thank God that he was driving, because I couldn't do that. But I was afraid that a moose would come out on my side. And we hit it. And then he never let me live that down if I survived. Right? You were supposed to be watching for the moose, Edith. That's all I could think in my head today, coming back, because my nerves. I had the bad nerves coming home today, I must say, because I had an appointment with the doctor and to see the specialist to the Grand Falls. And so we went in about lunchtime, because my appointment wasn't early afternoon now. And I figured, I had to go to Walmart, and I had to pick up a few, household items. So we went in time to go to the appointment, and then we figure, I will go to the dollar store and to Walmart after that. We have our supper and we come out. But I don't know where the summer went, because before I knew it, it was dark. And before I realized it, the time had passed. I didn't think I spent that much time in the store. I'm not even feeling up to being in the store that much these days. But I suppose, I got to tell you, Joan, I was a little bit excitable after my appointment, because I got to tell you. Now, Frank don't like talking about the personals, so I'm going to say this quietly now. I'm going to speak to you real low, and I hope you can hear me, because I don't want Frank to hear, because he gets so embarrassed. He don't like talking about personals. And he said to me, he said, Edith, he said, you got to see what doctor today? He couldn't remember. I said, Frank, I have to see the gynecologist today. And I said, Frank, you're a man and I'm a woman, and there's different needs. And by now, if you don't know that, I can't do much for you. I said, that's uncomfortable for me as it is to have to go into a doctor. And it was a male doctor, of course. I always is. You never get a female doctor, it don't seem. And, my eyes are so sore, and I'm looking out for them moose on the highway. But anyway, I told him it was the gynecologist. So anyway, Frank was, I tell you, Joan, if I haven't invested all these years, and if I was still young, I don't know if I would still be with Frank today. But I'm not going to start over now. God, no. I couldn't start over now if I wanted to. I don't have the energy. So anyways, I told him I had to see the gynecologist. It was all uncomfortable. So, that made me nervous. I was already nervous as it was. And I gets in there. And apparently, the doctor that they had me booked in for, he was out sick. So then I had this young fella. Now, Joe, he was only about I don't know for sure, but he couldn't be no older than Jonathan. He only looked like a boy. And all I could think was that there used to be a show, used to come on one time at Doogie Howser. That's all I could think was he was like him, eh? And I felt so embarrassed because I thought, it's bad enough if you got the older, more experienced doctor. But then, you come out with this Doogie Howser. And I suppose I should have been grateful that I didn't get in there and they cancel me and I have to go back. But I couldn't help it. I got bad nerves then. And he come in the room anyway. I got called in. I was waiting for a little while too. I must say, I probably waited almost an hour out there. I was falling asleep. And my nerves was getting so bad just waiting. I just wandered over with, And I could avoid these things. I mean, some people don't go to these things because they don't feel comfortable. But I always said to myself, I had children. I've been picked and I've been proud of it. And by the Lord dying by the thunder and G, I'm not giving up now at my age. Because, I know I don't have a lot of years left. I thought I heard Frank. See, I put him in the bed. And I come out to make a video to you, Joan. But I'm afraid he's going to come out and hear me. I don't like talking about these things. And I know as you're going to say, give it up, eat it, give it up. But I can't say, that's the kind of relationship that I've had for so long. And I told you, if I could start over, I would, but I can't. I think he only rolled over in the bed. Anyway, I go into the room after I waited for so long. And he come in. And he was very polite, I must say. He was a very polite young man. And he said, good day. And I said, hello. And he said, your name is Edith. And I said, yes. He said, well, nice to meet you, Edith. And he shook my hand. And all I could think was, I shake your hand now, but in a minute, you're going to be looking at my hoo-ha. So anyways, shook his hand. I mean, I wasn't going to say no. And he said, Edith, he said, have you had this done before? And I said, yes. He said, well, it appears on your chart it's been quite some time. He said, and, I know your regular doctor is not here today. And I'm in his place. He said, now, if you don't feel comfortable with me, you are welcome to rebook and come back. And I said, no, I'm not having Frank come over this road again. I won't make it. And he laughed at that. He said, okay, my love. He said, we'll go ahead then. I said, yes, yeah. I said, this is going to be uncomfortable for me, no matter who is here. Now, he said, okay, we'll go ahead with it. So he gave me a sheet. He said, now take off everything from the waist down. Joan, I didn't know if I should be excited or if I should cry. So anyways, he goes out, and I took off, I never wore the silky panties today. Wasn't that kind of day. However, I reserved a new pair of underwear that I had purchased from Walmart now, the last time that I was into the Grand Falls. And they had never been worn. So I had on my new, fresh underwear. And I took them off and I folded them up and I put them on the chair. And with my pants and that. I could leave on my socks. He said I could leave my socks on. So anyways, I takes all that off and I felt, oh, Joan, I felt so vulnerable. Been a while now since I've had one of those pep smears. Is what they're called. Now, I know you knows what that is. All of us women knows what they are. And so I got on the table. And he come in. He knocked on the door first. And he said, Edith, he said, are you ready? I said, yes, I'm ready. Come in. And I felt like I felt like the old grandmother from the, what's it called? Not Goldilocks. Little Red Riding Hood, you know, when the grandmother's in the bed and they knock at the door and they say, come in. That's all I could hear in my head. I was picturing reading the stories to me youngsters and to even to Jonathan. I could picture that right now. Come in, said the grandmother. And I thought, oh, like, God, I'm the grandmother. Like, it hit me, Joan, like a ton of bricks right in the face. So then I start to have anxiety, right? I said, oh, my God. I'm an old grandmother. Why am I here? Is not even important. Why do I want to show my hoo-ha to Dr. Doogie Howser? The poor man is going to, and I don't care. Yes, they're trained. Yes, they're trained. And they're supposed to look at all the vaginas. And I'm going to say vaginas because you know what? It's not just a hoo-ha. It's a vagina. And that's what all the doctors call it, Joan. So I don't care. I'm going to say vagina. And I know that you support me on that one. I know they looks at them all. And they sees the good ones and the bad ones. It's hard. It's hard when you realise that your vagina has been through years and years of experiences, tragedies, like the childbirth and my 30th anniversary. I mean, I'll never get over that one for sure. And I'm very, very positive that my vagina never got over that either. That was the last time that I bought the silky panties for Frank. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The bottom line was that I felt so embarrassed. The way he knocked on the door, I felt like the old grandmother from the, not the Three Bears, Little Red Riding Hood. Yes, that's what I felt like. Granny with the big eyes, Granny with the big mouth, Granny with the old vagina. Joan, that's what I felt like. And he come in and I said, my love, listen here. Now, I know that you've been trained to see lots of different things. And you've seen gross things and nice things. And as much as you have morals, you also don't have a choice in what your body makes you feel. So you may look down there, my love, I told him, and you may feel things in a bad way. And he said, Edith, my love, he said, we're here to take care of your health and nothing more. Okay? He said, I've seen everything from here to there. And I said, but Doogie. And he laughed at me then, because I suppose he realised what the Doogie show was all about too, right? And, but he told me not to worry. But of course, I still going to worry. But Joan, it's not the worst part. It's not the worst part at all. He gets down there. And he takes that big thing like that goes inside you that feels like, you know what, I've never really decided what that feels like, but it don't feel very good. And all women got to do it, yada, yada, yada. But it never feels very good. And he put hands on me. Joan, I only went and broke the wind. Right in his poor face. And I don't even know because I couldn't see his face. I would lean back like this, of course. My hoo-ha is down here. Oh. And I only went and broke the wind in his face. And I think I heard him cough, Joan. A little. And I said, Doctor, I said, you'll have to excuse me now while I get comfortable. I didn't know what else to say. What else could you say? I could say, I farted in your face. I could have said that to him, but he already knew. Why embarrass myself any more than I had to? So he did his little cough, and I said I had to fix myself. And we didn't say any more. And when it was done, and it hurt because it always hurts. It's always uncomfortable. Never has it ever felt good one time. You know, Mindy likes to think you goes in there and you have a good time with another man. Or, you know, maybe perhaps you has a good time with another woman. As Frank would like to think. But this was not a good time. And this especially was so embarrassing for me. And when we were done, he wasn't the same doctor, the same kind doctor that he was when he come in. And I know that because I broke the wind, it changed his opinion on me. He couldn't help it, Joan. He couldn't help it, you know, being up there and witnessing, I was going to say the hoo-ha, I'll say vagina, going in there and witnessing the old vagina. And on top of it, Joan, I only went and made a smell. And I can't tell you, Joan, I had turnip for supper last night. And greens. I was so embarrassed, Joan. And I don't know if you ever been through anything like that yourself. And part of me hopes that you have, because I feel it so terrible. I'll never go back to see him again. No. And I don't even know if I'll ever go back to see my regular doctor about the pep smears again. I think that was probably the last time, and I tell you, Joan, right now, there's something down there that's going to kill me. I think at this age, I'm be 75 tomorrow. I think I'd rather let it kill me than go through that